So I'm going to now ask a final question and ask actually our panelists to, in 1 minute, please be succinct. Can you please think about it, if there were one aspect of collaboration in the virtual asset space that you could significantly strengthen or supercharge, turbocharge, what would that one aspect be, and how would you go about achieving it? Final thoughts, 1 minute. Let's start with Erlin.
Thank you, Vera. So because of the topic of today's webinar, we mainly focused on international cooperation, but national level cooperation is as important. So we know there are different actors involved when it comes to virtual assets, from the investigation to the regulation to the supervising. So it's very important for these actors to talk to each other as well. And I would like to give here an example of an informal working group in Moldova, which comprises the Ministry of Finance, the Financial Intelligence Unit, the National Commission, the National Bank of Moldova, and they gather on almost on a regular basis to discuss the upcoming legislation. So I would say that in addition to the focus on international regional cooperation, it's very important to put in some effort on the national level, interagency level cooperation, and this can be done, we've seen in different countries, in many different ways, in a working group modality, task force, formal, informal, etc. So I would just conclude by saying focusing also on national level is as important.
Thank you so much. Valentin.
Thank you for the question. Erlin mentioned national cooperation, so I will emphasize the need for international cooperation because crypto asset-related crime evolves very rapidly, and crosses the borders very easily, and often involves multiple jurisdictions at once. So this means that national response, however strong, cannot be fully effective in isolation. So what is needed, in my opinion, is closer and more practical international cooperation through timely information sharing, stronger expert networks, joint capacity buildings, and regular exchange of experience among practitioners. In a field that changes so quickly, the ability to learn and respond together internationally is one of the most important factors for long-term effectiveness. And when I speak about international cooperation, I am not telling only about the cooperation between institutions, but also from the private sector cooperation. And I'm sure, and I'm happy that Michal mentioned about the attribution thing. This is one a very sensitive topic. Because we have all these blockchain analytical companies that they do a good job. They develop these good analytical softwares, but the problem is that they don't share the information that they are able to gather in these softwares. And I mean the attribution, the information that helps us to link the transactions to real entities or persons or activities. So this is very important to create a platform where we can share these attributions between public institutions, private sector, and so on. So I think in this field, international cooperation is not optional, but it is essential. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Fabrizio, over to you.
Yeah, thank you. There is not much to add, to be honest, to what they already said. These are the usual recipes, no ingredients for all those matters that relate to the movement of financial flows related to criminal activities or terrorist organizations. So national coordination is definitely very important, but this must come with a real understanding of the risks, because without properly understanding the risks, there is another risk of putting resources not in a proper way, and then they might be wasted. So I think that if I would pick up probably one of the detailed ingredients, that would be understanding the risks. Because with that comes the direction for each jurisdiction in understanding on how to better develop the national coordination, the partnerships between the public and private sectors, and also on how to reach out to proper partners at international level with the proper channels.
Great. Thank you. Alexandru.
Yes, thank you very much. Vera, it's it's very hard and harder to add something from all of you. As Valentin said, and also Fabrizio mentioned, and also Michal mentioned a lot of things, and Erlin, that cooperation is very essential. Basically, yes. First of all, we need to find a specific way how we can specifically within public sector, first of all, to share the information more effectively, less time consuming, because once it's in crypto, you know how it is. It's in a couple of seconds, it's just gone, and it can be spent, it can be done everything with it. First. And second is the knowledge sharing. The knowledge is very important. Also, the trends are very important. Michal, a lot of times, I think I subscribe to him thousands of times to all his ideas and how he managed to identify them and to share with all of us, especially with different platforms, and saying, okay, this is another problem, we have a problem, we see this another problem. So we have this very important to know where and how we can this risk to adjust. Otherwise, we will look at the old textbook and we will play by the old rules. And we have to engage, we have to already set up, we have to fine-tune all our risk parameters in order to be competent and not to follow the train, but at least to be on board with it. Of course, it is an ideal situation. Thank you.
Thank you. And Michal, you're muted.
For those of you who are new to crypto, I think the key learning is it doesn't matter if you like it, if you don't like it, it's here and it will stay. I think that's first. My daughter is 6, and then she came back from a kindergarten, and then she asked me, "Father, how do you eat an elephant?" I'm like, "What do you eat elephants in the kindergarten?" And then her feedback was, "You eat an elephant piece by piece." So we have many challenges. We have to acknowledge uncomfortable truth. There is a lot of space for improvement, to say the least. We will not be able to change everything at once. In the comments, you have seen one of the papers that is being released now shortly, and then you have some of the ideas to the attribution center. If there's one thing you can do, please review them, take them apart, hate them, love them, send feedback to us saying, hey, I think this is what should be done. If you are coming from a blockchain analytical company which is listening to it, then engage with us, because in order for Valentin to receive this data for free, we have to find a way to get it financed, right? If you're working for an international organization, you can endorse the idea. Of course, you can take it apart first, then we can assemble things, because then the corner or the key feedback is how do you eat an elephant piece by piece. And the key challenge for now, for the next, let's say 2-3 months, will be to create this attribution center that would help us to find the blind spots. We don't have a silver bullet yet, but there is, as they say, there is nobody as smart as all of us, right? And I think that's the way forward. So thank you so much for having me, and I'm looking forward to your feedback.
Thank you so much. And that's a great way to conclude. There's no one smarter than all of us together. So we're at the end of our session. I just want to highlight 3 key takeaways from the discussion for today. First, international organizations and networks play a critical role in translating global standards into practical tools and support. Second, effective responses rely not only on regulation, but sustained capacity building and technical expertise. And third, most importantly, strong cooperation across borders between institutions is essential to keep pace with the evolving risks. I would like to thank our excellent panelists for sharing their insights, and for all of you for joining us today. And again, thank you to Erlin, Valentin, Fabrizio, Alexandru, and Michal, and especially the Basel Institute on Governance for joining the OSCE in this excellent webinar. This is the first of a 2-part series. Please do join us on the 2nd of June for our second webinar, where we we will explore the distinct roles of civil society organizations and investigative journalism in raising awareness and identifying and exposing financial crime risks associated with cryptocurrencies and promoting good policies in this area. So thank you once again for joining us, and wishing everyone a great rest of the day for wherever you are.